Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today I'm going to be talking about Marvel's Runaways. This content contains major spoilers for the show Marvel's Runaways, which is currently a Hulu exclusive. Also, I want to give a shout out, kind of a warning. This is a negative review. I really do everything I can to avoid negative reviews. There are specific reasons I'm actually going to talk about Runaways. So let's jump into it. But if you're not a fan of negative reviews, you could jump out right now. I get that. I try to give people a warning. All right, so I'm a huge fan of Runaways from Marvel's. I started reading them from the very beginning. Season 1 of the comic book. So the comic book actually was cut into seasons. And there was a season 1 of the comic book. And season 1 of the comic book is, by the way, spoilers for the comic book as well, is, in my opinion, it's by Brian K. Vaughan. It's one of the very, very best comic books that was ever written about teen heroes, right? So Teen Titans is a classic, of course, but The Runaways, in my opinion, is about as close as you get on the Marvel side to Teen Titans, right? But Runaways is a really unique structure. So in the comic book, you have one season, which is, I think, about 12 issues. And in that, you see the rise of Alex Wilder. And so Alex Wilder is a guy who has no powers. He's just really smart, and he's the son of the lead of the Pride, okay? Now, the Pride is a group of supervillains that all of the Runaways are children of, right? So in the comic book, in season 1 of the Marvel comic book, the actual comic book, season 1 is amazing. It's really, really good. It's really just a solid, amazing story that has twists and turns and excitement and surprises. The story moves forward dramatically. You have teens who are rebelling against their parents, who are supervillains, by becoming superheroes, right? Really, really unique structure, okay? Hulu came along and purchased this from Marvel and purchased the right to make a Marvel Runaways show, okay? Now, that's where the good news ends. So I got very excited about this. I did not listen to any reviews on it. I let it sit on the shelf for about a week, and I'm like, and I really didn't watch it. And the reason why was I have really sworn off of every single television superhero show that exists. And the reason why, in my opinion, is because of the limitations of budgets for television. When you have a television when you have a television superhero show, almost always what that becomes is, let's make a cop show with some capes and some tights, or let's make any type of genre show, a sitcom, a romantic comedy, or like a dramedy, or let's make a bog standard television show, and some people are wearing tights and capes at points, right? And it really is just an excuse to put a layer of superhero-ness onto really what is always a bog standard television show. And that really disappoints me. I just don't like it. I don't like people buying comic book properties and then just turning them into another cop show, another situation comedy, another Friends. It's upsetting to me. And I've tried them all. I tried Arrow. I tried Legends of Tomorrow. I tried The Flash. Just about everything out. I watched Daredevil season 1, and then I watched Jessica Jones, I believe, and there was so much adult content in that I just had to, back away. Tried Luke Cage, couldn't get through it. Could not get through season 2 of Daredevil. Just tried Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., could not get through it. I cannot watch these shows because Gotham hurt me at a physical, emotional level. Like, it was so painful to watch, right? And so I am just not a fan of superhero television shows. So me saying I don't like Runaways, that's all on me. I broke my own rule. I should not have gone back to television and been excited that this was going to be something cool and awesome, because it 100% is not, right? So what happened was Hulu purchased Runaways, and then they're like, hey, we have Brian K. Vaughan, who is lauded by virtually everybody in the industry as a brilliant writer. Let's buy his characters and throw away his plot, and throw away all the great writing, and throw away the awesome story. And then let's hire a bunch of TV writers to make this into a CW show. And I kicked myself for even believing for a second it was going to be anything but that. But that's exactly what it is. And it was very disappointing, and it hurts me. Not physically, but it emotionally hurts me to see this done to comic books. Brian K. Vaughan is hired on as an executive consultant. I'm sure a nice check came with this. I'm sure there's a little bit of pain in his heart to see what's happening with this as well. But one of the things that is, so I've watched all 8. Now I have to admit, I am watching this show, and I'm going to see it through to the end, right? Now, I watched the first 4 episodes, and I was very excited about it, because here's what they did right. They got the characters, number one, they got all the Runaways. Chase, Gert, Molly. There's a few changes on Molly's. I don't mind any of those changes. I understand why they were made. Nico Minora, Alex Wilder, Carolina, excuse me. All of them are perfect. Some are more perfect than others. Alex Wilder, I thought they did a phenomenal job with him. He is just he looks exactly like Alex Wilder in the comic books. I feel like he acts exactly like him. It's like he stepped off the pages. And I have to admit, Nico Minora, same thing. Fantastic. So Nico and Alex Wilder, I cannot fault them for the job they did on bringing the comic book characters to life. They really did an amazing job with that. The Pride is terrible, and it ruined this show, right? So here's the issue, right? In season 1 of the comic book, the Pride is out of the picture immediately, like within the first or second issue, the Pride is off the map, right? But in this, they said, we're going to make this a multi-generational show. The kids they're supposed to be runaways, right? So my question to you, Hulu, where's the runaways? Nobody's run away, right? In the comic book, they literally run away from their parents. They go, oh, our parents are murderers. We just discovered that. We're going to run away from them, and we're going to rebel and become superheroes because our parents are supervillains, right? In this show, here's how it goes. The runaways, right, find out in episode 1, right, that their parents are murderers, and then every single episode after that, rather than just going with Brian K. Vaughan's brilliant, unbeatable, story, right, they literally hired people to write just a layer of junk on top of it. Why would you do this? Why would you buy something? It's like taking a gold-plated car, scraping it off, and using primer, and covering it with primer. It's insane what they've done to this series. Oh man. Okay, so here's my take, right? It just and so I was watching it, so they did a great job, but the Pride remains alive, okay? And then they literally go back in time with episodes and show you everything leading up for 2 or 3 episodes, showing everything leading up to episode 1, right? And then episodes 4 through, episodes 1 through 4 are just letting you know what happened in episode 1 and the reasons why it happened. And then the kids doing nothing about the information that their parents are murderers. And then episodes 5 through 8 are their kids getting evidence that their parents are murderers to show everybody else, and then Chase destroying the evidence. This is so painful to watch because they have all these writers working super hard to make sure that the story does not advance 1 single inch, and that what really Hulu's Runaways. So Marvel's Runaways is about kids who find out their parents are murdering supervillains and rebel against them by becoming superheroes. Hulu's Runaways are about kids who find out their parents are murdering supervillains, right? And then stay with those parents, protect those parents, grow closer to those parents, and disintegrate as a team. So the entire Runaway show is about carefully preserving the Pride supervillain group and investing you on what wonderful people the Pride supervillain group is and what terrible people the Runaways are. It's like they bought it and inverted it. And it's painful to see what's happened with this. However, I'm the fool here, not Hulu, right? Because I never should have watched this show. I stand by what I always believed, which is superhero television shows are always terrible. Always. And I'm saying this to remind myself, I should have never got involved and started watching Runaways. I have to admit, I'm continuing to watch Runaways because I want to see where this thing, how the whole thing finishes out. And I have to say, Brian K. Vaughan's characters are so powerful and so compelling that it's interesting to see them on screen. But I am embarrassed for Brian K. Vaughan. I don't understand why on earth you would do this to a beautiful story, why you would strip it apart and tear it to its barest essentials. It's frustrating to see. And also I feel ashamed for myself for returning to television superhero shows. Live action television superhero shows. Animated superhero shows, I love them. They're great, all right? But this was Runaways, not a fan. Take care.